Welcome into the best in true crime podcasting. This is True Crime Tuesday. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. Got a great show ahead today, folks. Jessica Freeburg's in with Dumb Crime, Stupid Criminals in just a bit. But first, I had the privilege of reading this wonderful book right here. I got to be able to hold it up steady first. This is Lee Goldberg's latest called Murder by Design. And it is not only a great thriller and a wonderful fictional thriller that we'll be talking about today, it's got a great sense of humor. And I love a book with a great sense of humor. It's got everything in it. It's got murder. It's got solving crimes. It's got a great lead character in Edison Bixby. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about Lee. Lee is a two-time Edgar Award and two-time Shamus Award finalist, #1 New York Times bestselling author with more than 60 novels, including the Eve Ronan series, the Ian Ludlow series, and the Sharp Walker series, and 5 books and 2 novellas in the Fox and O'Hare series, which Lee co-authored with Janet Ivanovich, yeah.
Ivanovich, yes. She's this up-and-coming writer who is just riding on my coattails. I hope she'll break out someday on her own.
I'm just horrible at last names. I'm sorry. He has also written and produced many TV shows, including Diagnosis Murder, Sequest, and Monk. Co-creator of the Hallmark movie series Mystery 101, and as an international TV consultant, has advised networks and studios in Canada, France, Germany, Spain, China, Sweden, and the Netherlands in the creation, writing, and production of episodic series. We've got a link to his website in the description of this program. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome in for the first time to True Crime Tuesday, Lee Goldberg. Hi, Lee. How are you?
Hi. It's great to be here.
It's wonderful to have you.
Even though I make up crimes, there's nothing true about my crimes. It's great to be here.
I wouldn't expect you to commit them for real. That'd be horrible.
Oh, my wife, she's French, and she actually has told people, if I die before my husband, I don't care if I'm hit by a meteor or a bus. I want a complete investigation, because I spend all my time coming up with murders, for TV and books.
You know what? And the murders that you come up with are incredibly original. Okay, so I spent most of my time by reading this wonderful book, trying to figure out exactly who was doing these.
That's the point. So who done it?
Right, but I was shocked by the end of this. And by the way, no spoilers in this whole thing. And there shouldn't be when you do an interview, a good interview. Because if they spoil the book for you, Lee, don't do the interview with the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rule number 1. But I spent most of my time in this book going, I can't figure out, and there's a series of different murders, of course, that happen in this book. And Edison Bixby, our wealthy, handsome, brain injured, by the way, which is an unusual twist for this detective. And I'll let you actually talk about some of this in a minute. I know it's rude of me not to let you do this. But he's going along solving these crimes for this insurance agency, and he's getting thrown these different cases, and you're thinking, okay, well, eventually we're going to get the suspects here, right? Or there's a suspect that's going to come up in all of these. And I'm trying to figure out in my mind, who is it? And I think I'm going to get it. And boy, am I shocked.
Well, that's the whole idea. I mean, I've written so many of these mysteries. It's a challenge for me to come up with something fresh and new that excites me and makes me want to write about it. And I think we're all bored with the formula, a murder and 3 suspects and Cesar Romero did it. Or, it's just, I'm dating myself by using that actor as a reference. There's a formula to these kind of mysteries. And what I wanted to do with Murder by Design was honor the tropes. To say this is a classic whodunit with the quirky detective and his assistant, but I also wanted to deconstruct it, sort of make fun of it, acknowledge what the formula is, and then turn left. In the case of Edison Bixby, we have a character who is, on paper, it seems like your standard, detective with a superpower. He's Nero Wolfe, he's Sherlock Holmes, he's Adrian Monk. He's a character who's a social outcast and has a unique ability to observe things. But unlike all those characters, Edison Bixby is rich, good looking. He's not celibate. He gets laid all the time. drives wonderful cars, and he's leading this dream life, and that doesn't happen with most of these other detectives. And yes, he does have a superpower in that he looks at the world through design. We live in a world that we think is natural, and it's not. We spend most of our time in what I call the built world, that man has built around us to control nature or to control us, and we don't realize how manipulated we are. We move through this world like sheep. But Bixby can see it, and he can see how it motivates crime, makes crimes possible, maybe even inedible. Inedible, my God, inevitable,
Mhm.
not eatable, inevitable. But Bixby has a weakness, which was he can be a pain in the ass, and someone had a little bit too much of his pompous, sanctimonious criticism and shot him in the face. And as a result, he has a neurological disorder that has limited his ability to think before he speaks. He will say whatever is on his mind. He can't stop himself. And we all have offensive thoughts that we keep to ourselves. But if he thinks somebody's fat, he'll say, "You're fat." He'll just, if he thinks somebody's hot, he'll say, "Nice ass." I mean, so he needs somebody around to sort of buffer, clean up after his messes so he doesn't constantly get sued and offend people. And that's the role of his assistant. Wally Nash. And Wally comes to believe that maybe Bixby's neurological disorder is more like Columbo's BS, just one more thing, where you think Columbo's a moron and he's not. He's a shrewd detective. So that's sort of the fun of the book,
Well,
or at least I hope it is.
it's a lot of the fun of the book, and that, yeah, but like you said, there's that brilliance to Edison that he's thinking on so many different levels, but at the same time, he's got no control.
No.
And Wally comes in, and what's interesting about Wally is he's new to the job, and Edison has this other quirk to him in that he doesn't seem to be able to hold on to assistants either, does he?
No. And in the world of there's a book I read, I think it was by Paco Underhill, who wrote a book called Call of the Mall, and I think he's a cognitive scientist. He looks at how design shapes behavior, and he doesn't like to use graduate students in the sciences as his assistants because they come into it with preconceived notions of how things should work and theories they want to reinforce or contradict. And he prefers to use artists, painters, actors, because they look at the world in a much more creative way, and they aren't trying to prove anything. They just see people in a unique way. And so Edison Bixby has that same idea, and he wants to bring in artists as his assistants. And he brings in Wally, who's a failed actor. Well, not really failed. He does a lot of prescription drug commercials for people with bad hemorrhoids and skin conditions and stuff, where he plays corpses on NCIS. And he brings to Edison Bixby an understanding of the motivation of characters. He can sympathize with people in a way that Bixby can't. And the two of them together kind of become the perfect detective. And in a way, sort of a married couple. I mean, they banter, and I mean, there's no homoerotic side to this, though I make jokes about that as well in the book. But they're really the perfect partnership, and they get on each other's nerves, and that's sort of again, I hope part of the fun of the book, their conflict and what they bring out in each other and how they challenge each other to be better people.
I love just to give people just a little bit of a peek into it. I love how when Wally tries to take himself just a little seriously as an actor, Edison will come in and remind him that, well, you were sitting on a toilet trying to convince us that you were taking a medication that was going to help you with that. Don't take
Yeah.
it too seriously.
Yeah. If you want to get laid as often as me, maybe stop doing the explosive hemorrhoid commercials
Yeah,
and the ED commercials and
yeah,
all
yeah.
that. But as far as Wally's concerned, those are the most interesting commercials to do because there's so many layers in these tortured people who have such horrible flatulence they can't get a job or get a girl, and they wait for this miracle drug. He doesn't want to play characters who are trying to buy, something new to stain their deck. That there's no drama in that, no conflict. But people look at him and remember him from these ads. I mean, aren't you the guy who can't get it up? Aren't you the guy with horrible flatulence? Aren't you the guy with sickening psoriasis? Well, no, I embodied those characters, but it's not me. And they were cured by the drugs that I was selling in those ads.
So much so that there's another character that revolves around Edison named Detective McGregor, who
Mhm.
has an interesting relationship with Edison. And she's calling Wally Fartman,
Yeah.
giving him that moniker. Can you tell us a little bit about Detective McGregor?
Well, in every one of these formula novels or formula series where you've got the quirky detective and his or her assistant, you always have the friend on the force. The cop who's not quite so good, who the brilliant detective always makes a fool of, always solves the crime that the cop can't, and the cop just is always there for them. And, it's Inspector Lestrade and Sherlock Holmes, it's Stottlemyre and Monk, and there's a bevy of detectives and Nero Wolfe. I mean, they're always the beleaguered, even in the Rockford Files and all these other shows, Mannix and Magnum PI, there's always the friend on the force. So I want to do a twist on the friend on the force. And this woman can't stand Bixby at the same time she's sleeping with him. She was his former partner, and it's a different kind of relationship between the the brilliant detective and the friend on the force. And I wanted to acknowledge the cliches of the genre and honor those tropes, but at the same time, sort of make fun of them. And my characters in these books are very much aware of the cultural references that they're kind of slipping into. They're aware of Sherlock Holmes and Monk and Castle and all these shows, and they reference them. So these are not characters who are not unaware of where they fit in the universe of quirky detectives. I mean, I've written for Monk, I've written for Nero Wolfe, I've written a lot of detective shows. Um, and I wanted to acknowledge that experience. And I also wanted to challenge myself. I really wanted to write that kind of character again, but what can I bring to it that was special and different to make it unique instead of yet another character with a quote unquote superpower who can solve crimes because he or she is so brilliant and the cops are so mediocre. And that was a challenge for me with Murder by Design, and I'm in the middle of writing the sequel now, The Invisible Architect.
There's something really, really special about this particular adventure, though, and it- I mean, there's a kind of a gimmicky thing though too, and that's this Edison's home, and in particular, what's in his backyard, right?
Right?
And I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
When he goes to his backyard, when that's kind of his little sanctuary and whatnot, his entire home was built by his parents. And we should probably talk about his family first
Yeah,
and
his
how
his
he,
parents, his father was an inventor. He invented all kinds of weird gadgets, and his mom was a architect who liked to put a lot of character in her home. So much so that she really couldn't get a lot of jobs in conventional architecture, so she became a production designer for the studios, creating fantasy homes and fantasy facades and fantasy places, like Hogwarts in Harry Potter, or the towns and stuff in a Dr. Seuss movie. And they brought this into their own lives. They created sort of a storybook home for themselves and for their son. And so he grew up around design in all its different forms, production design and device design. And his parents were killed when he was a teenager in a tragic automobile accident on a freeway. And his father was posthumously made responsible for it. They said he was driving drunk. He wasn't. And Bixby, as a teenager, was able to prove that his parents were murdered by the freeway itself and by the design of the car. And as a result, he succeeded and became a multi-millionaire as a teenager. And so he's independently wealthy, but he has this desire to use design to solve problems, and becomes an LAPD homicide detective. And he's got the 100% closure rate, and he's doing great. He's arriving at crime scenes in a Bugatti Chiron with a bubble light on top, and wearing like a Tom Ford suit, James Bond arriving at a crime scene, until he's tragically shot in the face. And he has to change his career. So he's an outrageous, outlandish character that, yes, is unbelievable. I mean, and I did that on purpose. I made him larger than life. But that home he lives in that you just referenced is actually inspired by a real home that I visited that was related to a friend of mine, and that home was tragically lost in the Woolsey fire. Um, but Los Angeles is filled with storybook homes, homes that look like they came out of a children's fable. I mean, it's a witch's house and all that, and they're not novels, but nonfiction books all about the storybook homes of not just Los Angeles and California, but all across the country. So it's not like I made this up. You can find these kind of homes all over Los Angeles.
Was there really a tree that would serve you breakfast?
No, 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 I made that up. But the house itself, the way it's designed and sort of the backyard and all that is based on the real storybook houses in Los Angeles and the home that my friend's brother-in-law had built by hand out in the Santa Monica Mountains.
Because I found that absolutely fascinating. The whole, I mean, what a beautiful mind, Lee, to come up with the idea that there's a tree where you could pull certain levers and
Well, I loved the Swiss Family Robinson house at Disneyland when I was a kid. I think they call it something else now, like the Tarzan house or whatever. They always change it to match some new Disney movie. But also, Gilligan's Island and just how you make bizarre Rube Goldberg kind of devices out of vines and pulleys and water and things, and I just kind of expanded that for Edison Bixby.
yeah, again, we'll leave it for the book for people to figure it out. But it's, the idea that you can go to the backyard and it's kind of a, you walk into a different world, but it's a
Yeah.
world that Edison's so comfortable in. And it's kind of, the house is one sanctuary, but the backyard is a complete different playland, and it's a place where he goes to escape, right?
Well, it's sort of like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It's an escapist fantasy. He's still very much a child at heart.
Yeah, yeah. Amazing. All right, tell you what, we'll take a break here. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit and get a little bit into the book and what it is that Edison is doing now that he's been essentially post shot in the face. We'll talk about that and why he's getting Wally into these certain adventures and why he's depending on Detective McGregor and why Detective McGregor is depending on him, because it's kind of a weird symbiotic relationship that the two have,
Mhm.
and why he's getting and still involved in these certain cases and going back and forth. Um, and we'll get a little bit deeper into this wonderful book that I have right here. It's Murder by Design is the name of the book. We have a link in the description of this program. Lee Goldberg is my guest, and we'll talk more about Edison Bixby, Wally Nash, and Detective McGregor, and much, much more. But first, I want to tell you about a wonderful place where you can go and get a bit of a bite to eat, maybe some entertainment, and a drink, and much, much more. Jelly Bean and Julia's is our sponsor today. And at Jelly Bean and Julia's, Corey and Coley treat you just like family. Their specials today through the rest of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, happy hour, 25% off all appetizers, excluding the appetizer sampler, half price off single pour well drinks, half price off Mick Golden Light and Coors Light taps, and half price off domestic cans and bottles. Of course, Friday, folks, the smoked prime rib dinner every Friday night. I've told you about this dinner before, folks. It's going to be one of the top 5 dinners you ever have in your entire life. I'll guarantee you this. That 14 or 16 ounce smoked prime rib is smoked for 12 to 14 hours beforehand in that huge giant walk-in smoker that Corey has there on the premises. That smoked prime rib comes with the Boston baked potato, the Texas toast, and the wonderful tequila berry salad, the sweet and tangy dressing with the croutons, the bacon bits, and much, much more. And you get a huge salad with it, folks, that huge tequila berry salad. I'll tell you, they start serving at 4:30 over there, and they serve it until it's gone. I'll tell you, you want to get there shortly before or shortly before they start serving, or even just a little bit after they start serving, because the smoked prime rib doesn't last long. It's there, but you're going to want to get there early. Of course, on Saturday nights, you've got your entertainment. They bring in a new band every Saturday night. Sunday, you've got breakfast at Jelly Bean and Julia, breakfast on Sunday only. You've got brisket with the hash. You've got chicken and waffles and much, much more at Jelly Bean and Julia's, jellybeanandjulias.com. We have a link in the description of this program. Check them out, jellybeanandjulias.com in Coon Rapids, Minnesota, Coon Rapids Boulevard. Your new spot, Jelly Bean and Julia's. All right, when we come back, more with Lee Goldberg, Murder by Design, right here on the best in true crime podcasting. This is True Crime Tuesday. Welcome back to the best in true crime podcasting. This is True Crime Tuesday. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. The book is right here. Murder by Design. Lee Goldberg is my guest. And before we left you, we were talking about Edison. Uh, I almost,
Edison Bixby, but it's okay. I'm drooling over that smoked prime rib you were talking about.
I'm sorry.
That commercial, my God, I'm starving. In fact, I can't do this interview anymore. I got to go get something to eat.
I'm sorry. I think I've been shot in the face. I couldn't remember Bixby for some
Well,
reason.
that's okay.
It happens every once in a while. I get a little bit.
And I just want to remind you, I'm Lee Child, author of the Reacher novels, just in case you
Yes,
forgot.
you're Lee Child, author of the Reacher novels, and you've written all the Monk novels, if I remember
Yes.
right as well. Yes. Um, sorry. I'm sorry. I was thinking of the prime rib myself.
I mean, you should have served some to me before the interview if I
I'm
knew.
sorry. I should have
You
had
were
some.
describing in such luscious detail the smoked prime rib,
Oh,
the succulent salad, the can you
I'm
have a
telling you,
succulent salad?
they do.
But
Oh, that salad's amazing. I tell you, it's the dressing is perfect.
and you had me a Texas toast. I can't resist Texas toast.
Oh, it's nice and thick too. I I could go on for hours about it. Actually, I try to make it out almost every Friday night, Lee,
Oh,
over there at Jelly Bean.
I gained 10 pounds just hearing about it.
I get
And I
the
have to eat my, god awful keto stuff instead.
Oh, it's a good keto meal. The thing I didn't mention about the restaurant is they cook everything in all natural oil. So they use like an avocado oil, and they use it's all healthy stuff.
Ah.
They don't cook in unnatural oils.
Oh, in that case, I'm not going. I like food that's as unhealthy as I can get.
Yeah, yeah. So they cook in natural fats. So it's a great place to go eat. So
That's actually my nickname, Natural Fat, which is why
yes,
I'm on the
yeah,
keto diet.
yeah, yeah. That's actually mine too. It was
Ah,
a nickname when I played baseball. So it was natural fats. So Minnesota natural fats is what they called me. But yeah, and then they also they said, "What? You act like you've been shot in the face." When I was out in the field, that's why I would get hit by baseballs in the head when I played right field. So yeah, but that's just a little bit about me, Lee. So
good to know.
yeah, yeah, all good.
I will not be driving with you.
Yeah, yeah, you probably shouldn't. It's a horrible, horrible chance to take with your life. Um, anyways, this is the book right here, Murder by Design. Lee Goldberg is our guest. Edison Bixby has his struggling actor and sidekick that is keeping him in check, but we haven't really told people what it is that Edison is taking him out on or who he works for. Can you tell us who Edison is working for now that he's not on the police force? Because he's obviously not on the police force anymore. He's counting on Detective McGregor for a reason. Detective McGregor has the shield still, and he's needing access to the police force. Who is it that Edison Bixby is working for, and why?
Edison Bixby works for Triax Global Insurance, the same insurance company that won't insure the LAPD anymore because of all the lawsuits they lost because of Edison Bixby and the offensive things he says because he got shot in the face. But they don't have the same kind of liability at the insurance company. And he is great at solving crimes, and not so much crimes, but he investigates insurance claims and he can find fraud or the real cause and all that. And in this particular case, it's a in a sense, an impossible crime. It's not even a crime to start with. In a new shopping mall, a woman falls down a flight of stairs and gets impaled on some rebar of a new display case that's being built. And it's an accident that was witnessed by hundreds of people. No one pushed her down the staircase. She walked and fell and got impaled. And the insurance company represents the mall, which is on the hook for a huge amount of money because of this death. And they're getting terrible publicity because of it. Now, Edison Bixby looks at this trip and fall and says, it's not a trip and fall, it's a homicide. And it's like, what? And he goes about proving that the mall itself was an accomplice to the murder, but didn't commit the murder. This was actually done by someone. And it seems like, how could it be done by someone? No one pushed her, there's no one around her. And that's the impossible crime that Bixby solves. But once he solves it, he has to find who's behind it and why. And that leads to more interesting crimes. And along the way, he's also solving other situations where design played an unusual role in how things occurred. He believes that the best way to solve a crime is to look at the environment around it, at the design that made that crime possible. I was inspired to write this book and to create the Edison Bixby character by a quote I bumped into or stumbled across years ago. I can't even remember where. And I'll probably mispronounce this man's name, so forgive me. But a famous architect, he was like the dean of the Columbia School of Architecture, or Columbia University School of Architecture. Bernard Tashumi had a quote that perhaps the best way to understand architecture is to commit a murder. And his premise was that any crime that's committed is not possible without architecture or design making it possible. And if you look at the design, it will lead you back to who done it and why. And once I started looking at the world the way Bernard Tashimi talked about it, I mean, I read at the back of my book, you notice I have a ton of citations of all the books and papers I read. There's a whole science behind how we are manipulated by design. How we are constrained by design, how we're made to do things by design. Just look at a freeway or look at an escalator or look at a grocery store or look at a shopping mall. They're all monuments of design that push us in certain ways. A casino is an excellent example of design and how we're manipulated into spending more and drinking more. And
Yeah. Yeah.
so once you understand that and you start deconstructing it, I saw a new way to look at the world and created a character and a mystery series around that.
So let me ask you this, Lee, because there's an interesting scenario in this book where someone's killed with a letter opener. Okay. So without giving away too much, what's easier for you as an author? Is it easier to kill somebody or deconstruct it and find the person who killed them? In other words, is it easier to do the actual killing or to go back and reconstruct it and explain who the killer is?
I actually don't start with either one of those things. I
Okay.
start with character. What would be an interesting situation to put my character in that will put him or her in conflict and create humor and or drama that will really push them to their limits. And then that's where the crime comes from, whether I'm doing a police procedural or a whodunit. And in this case, I kind of backed into it by having a mentor of Edison Bixby's accused of a murder that he absolutely had to have committed. It was done in broad daylight in front of a whole bunch of witnesses, but he's actually innocent. And then but I knew I had to come up with a crime where design was an element. And the whole concept of affordance, which is used in product and tool design, that certain things are designed to do, like a letter opener is designed to open letters, but
Mhm.
it has other affordances. You can use it as a weapon. You could use it as a screwdriver. You could use it to scratch your back. You could use it for all kinds of things, things that were not in the mind of the person who designed the object. So that's where I got into the crime. And then once I have the crime, I then just look at how can I take it apart? Where can I find the mistake that the perpetrator made or didn't even realize they made? What is the design issue that will allow, in this case, design issue that will allow my detective to solve the crime? It just sort of unfolds like that. I will say that the crimes in Murder by Design are the hardest I've ever had to plot. I've done a lot of mysteries, and because I'm constricted in this one by design, it made it very difficult. Plus, I created a ridiculous bar for myself, all these impossible crimes. Probably the only comparison for me would be the Monk books and episodes that I did, where the crimes have to be solved by virtue of Monk's obsessive compulsive disorder and his need for symmetry and his fear of viruses and things, germs and things. That's his way of looking at things from a unique perspective that allows him to see the solution to the crime that nobody else does. This was harder though, and
Yeah.
I hate myself for it. Like I said, I'm writing in the middle of writing the second book, and I just want to kill whoever came up with this idea until I realized it was me. It's much easier for me to do police procedurals, which are more like unfoldings rather than whodunits. I should give a plug to this as well. I'm also have a new TV series that just premiered on Acorn called "You're Killing Me," starring Brooke Shields, and
Okay.
it's a lighthearted whodunit, and it's also in a way the formula, brilliant detective and friend on the force, but they're lighthearted whodunits that aren't used They aren't using design to solve the crimes, just deduction and cleverness and a keen observation. But that's sort of my thing. It's like I like the puzzle. It's a narrative driver that pushes the story along, and I'm not sure I could ever tell a story that didn't have a murder or a crime in the center of it.
Do you enjoy the handcuffs better than the wide open whodunits?
The handcuffs? You mean the
Yeah.
police procedural? Um,
No, the like this new book, Murder by Design. I consider this the handcuffs. The putting on the handcuffs are the limitations of staying within the structure of the theme.
well, what I like is to challenge myself. So I probably my most successful books are my Eve Ronin series of police procedurals. They do extremely well. I'm about to start the eighth one as soon as I finish this book. But I'm also doing a lot of other police procedurals. I have an arson investigator series, and I had this desire to get back to the whodunit just for fun,
Okay.
and also sort of a palate cleanser for myself, so I can go back to my police procedurals refreshed. And that's what it is. It's just me entertaining myself, and if I'm lucky, you, the reader or the TV viewer, will be entertained as well.
Oh, great. Okay. Um, so to you, what's the most challenging? What to you, what really taxes you creatively?
Coming up with a crime that can only be told in my book or in the TV show that I'm doing. A crime that's a reflection of the person solving it. That a crime that could not be done in any other series of books or any other TV series. That I believe that the most successful stories are the ones that spring from character. That you can't extricate the character from the mystery. And that is the challenge for me and the fun for me. And I think that hopefully that's what makes my books and TV shows successful, is you can't just lift the story up and put it in another show or another series of books.
So do you ever see yourself writing something for the page and go, I can never see that being done on film or TV, or does that not factor into what you write on the page?
No, in fact, I write everything with an eye, so it'll be in TV. I can't help it because I write for television, and most of my books get optioned for film or television. So I want my books to be very film and TV friendly. Sometimes I'm constrained myself because I'm aware of the production demands, and I'll be writing something in my book and realizing, oh my God, this will cost a fortune, and I have to stop myself because I don't have to budget it. I'm not shooting it. It's okay. Let someone else worry about how to make it on film. But no, I very much write my books as movies and TV shows in terms of the momentum, in terms of having dialogue and action drive the story as opposed to internal monologues. I really want the reader to feel when they're reading my book that they're watching a movie unfold in their head. I want the writing to disappear and for them to be in the middle of the action. Now that's a little bit different with Murder by Design because this book is written first person from Wally Nash's point of view. So the writing is very present. You're very much aware of Wally's commentary and how Wally sees the world. But most of my books are written in third person. So it's an objective narrator and my authorial voice tends to disappear as opposed to this book where it's all authorial voice because it's Wally Nash's personality. It's the world filtered through this actor who's not entirely a reliable narrator. Plus, he's talking about the struggles of writing a book for the first time and what the formula is and how he's supposed to be doing it. So that's also part of my fun at showing people how to use a cliche, how the sausage is made.
And two, when I was reading this book, I see it through a cinematic scope. I don't know. A lot of times when I read, I guess maybe that's how I judge ease of reading too. If I can see it in my mind's eye on a screen, then to me, that I don't want to say I judge a good book from a bad book as to whether I can see it screen worthy or not. But yeah, this to me was very much, I see it boom on a screen and it translates very easily.
I
So
I want you to get lost in the book. And if you get lost in the book, then you are seeing it unfold in your mind. If I write really clever stuff and beautiful descriptions, you're looking at the writing. And then you're reading something. You're looking at the words, and I don't think you're getting into the story. I don't fancy myself a literary fiction writer. I don't want you looking at my writing and, oh, isn't he a great writer? Isn't that a clever turn of the phrase? I want you just to get so lost in the story that you forget your reading and the world kind of disappears. That's my goal. It's not to call attention to myself in the way I construct a sentence or a paragraph or
with I hate to jump ahead to the next book. I don't want to jump ahead to the next book at all, but because I don't want to give anything away about this book. But with the next book, do we see, oh God, no, you know what?
Don't give anything away. But I mean, it will be Edison Bixby and Wally Nash solving crimes just like they did in the first book.
Okay. Um, I was going to say, do we see a certain amount of growth with Wally? I mean, is there?
Yeah, you see growth. I mean, I don't want to do a book series that's static.
Okay.
These characters have to evolve. People who read my Eve Ronan novels have noticed a real evolution in her character and situation from book to book. I acknowledge what happened in previous books. In fact, she still is recovering from injuries she suffered in previous books. I don't believe in sort of the Nero Wolfe model where he started Rex Stout started writing these books I think in the 1940s. And in the 1970s, they were still the same characters. Nothing had changed. And I believe characters have to evolve. You look at my friend Michael Connolly's books, and Harry Bosch has had a lot of different things happen in his life. He's got new jobs, new life experiences. He's still Harry Bosch, but he's changed. And I think it's important to have a character change with time and have new conflicts and new situations because we all change with time. But at the same time, I'm aware that what readers want and what viewers of TV show want are, we have a phrase in TV, the same show every week, only different. You come back to a book for pleasures you know you're going to get, and you want those pleasures to be satisfied and those expectations to be satisfied. So I want to do that. I want to give you what you now will expect from a Edison Bixby story, but I also want to move things forward and challenge you and surprise you.
One of the things I found really, and the reason why I hesitated a little bit, Lee, is one of the things I really liked about Wally is although he is that struggling actor, he's wanting to get one foothold in Hollywood, and at the same time, he's really enjoying what he's doing with Edison, right?
Yeah.
And he's kind of a man between two worlds right now.
Yes.
And he really would like to kind of pursue what he's doing with Edison, but at the same time, he's kind of on that verge. He kind of
Yeah. He thinks he's going to be the next James Bond or the next Marvel superhero. He just feels he's one, antacid commercial away from being discovered. And there are actors, Tom Selleck and so many actors, Bryan Cranston, I mean, all started in commercials, and in bit parts in TV. They weren't movie stars overnight. Harrison Ford did a million TV shows before he got discovered in Star Wars. If you look at old 1960s TV series, you see Gene Hackman and Robert De Niro and Robert Redford all guest starring in TV shows, playing small parts. It's just the way it was, way it is. I mean, people forget that Clint Eastwood toiled for years in Rawhide before he became a movie star. George Clooney started in a bunch of bad television shows before he broke out in ER.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. And Wally Nash feels that day is going to come, that working with Edison Bixby is just his day job.
And we'll leave it at this note here, Lee. You left it at such an interesting point at the end of the book. I don't know where you go with number 2, but
I don't either. I'm struggling with it. I'm not even sure I pulled it off. We'll see.
I'm so interested to see where the second book goes but I'm there for it. I'm there for it, Lee. I want to see it.
I'm racing to meet my deadline. This book, the sequel, comes out this time next year. To add the pressure to me, it's already available for pre-order. I haven't finished writing the damn thing, and it's already available for pre-order. So I better not screw it up.
Wow. Well, I'm going to encourage everybody to go get this right now. Lee Goldberg, Murder by Design. I'm telling you, folks, it's a wonderful book. It's funny. It's got twists you're never going to guess. You're never going to guess the killer at the end of this book. It's the dynamic between Edison and Wally is absolutely amazing. And Detective McGregor, the three of them together, I think is one of the best dynamics you're going to read in a book this year. So you're absolutely going to enjoy it. Lee Goldberg, I want to thank you so much for being on today.
Oh, my pleasure. I have to go get a smoked prime rib now.
You know what? Come on up to Minnesota. It'll be my treat. So I greatly appreciate you being on with us today. Thank you so much, my friend. Folks, it's time now for us to change gears. It's time now for us to bring in Jessica Freeburg. And it's time now for Dumb Crimes and Stupid Criminals.
It's Crayon News story time.
What happened with this dude, Christ Bearer?
I heard he cut his penis off and then jumped off a balcony.
Suspect pulls gun from butt, shoots twice at Denver police.
What is your emergency?
I need help.
And what's the problem?
I'm too high.
You're too high?
Yeah.
It's that time again. Time you've all been looking forward to. It's time now for Dumb Crimes and Stupid Criminals, the post-holiday edition. With that, I bring in my co-hostess, who says, by gosh, there's no such thing as holidays at the Hindustan Post. And Binder says, I submit to that, sir and madam. I get that. Because I get that books are a 24/7, 365 type deal. And he says, bring it on. I'm ready. In fact, I brought in the big barrels of ink. I got the big rolls of paper. I'm ready for the charts to be destroyed. He said, he told the kids and the family, by gosh, you fend for yourself. You go out and slay the elk or whatever it is they eat over there in wherever they make the Hindustan Times. I have no idea where they make the Hindustan Times. I don't know. I haven't looked to see where the publishing offices are. But I said, it's okay, Binder. You can take one day off. Memorial Day. We took a day to remember our war dead. You can remember yours as well. It's okay, Binder. Relax. Take a breath. Have a barbecue. Do whatever it is you need to do. We'll come right back to you tomorrow. And he was like, all right, thank you. Appreciate it. So he did. He and the family took a day off as well. And now we're right back to business. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, here she is. Destroyer of charts, eater of worlds, Jessica Freeburg. Hi, Jess. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad we gave Bender at least one day off. I feel bad for the fella.
Oh, no. I mean, everybody needs a little bit of rest. He was grateful for the day. Yeah.
I was too.
Yeah. It's one of those things. I had an unusual weekend. I don't know about you.
It was pretty calm.
Was it?
It happened. Yeah, I went golfing. So
How'd you do? Let's start out with, I want to hear about your relaxing weekend first. Are we jumping to mine?
we'll start with relaxing and then jump into wild, huh?
Mhm.
Yeah, we went with the whole family. So there were 8 of us. It was my family and then my parents and my brother. And I always do really well with my driving. I can hit like a beast, but I'm a terrible putter. So that always ruins my
Really?
numbers at the end. Yeah.
Short game isn't so good, huh?
Nope. My short game stinks.
Not good. You can get it there, but not quite knock it in.
I can get it there pretty quick, but yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
So now I'm curious, what happened to you this weekend?
So my mom tells me, well, I'd like just a little bit of time if I could. Could we go to lunch? I'm like, well, okay, sure. I'll carve out some time. So I went down to her this weekend, and I don't know. We have one Cracker Barrel in the state, which is in Lakeville, right?
Yep.
And I like Cracker Barrel every once in a while. I like, it's good, it's cheap, it's good food, right?
It's like home cooking.
It is, right? So I said, well, let's go to Cracker Barrel for lunch because I haven't been in quite some time. And it's actually, I had breakfast because I like breakfast at Cracker Barrel. So we went over there, and on the way back, my van starts acting up. And the temp gauge starts acting up. I'm like, what is going on? I'm thinking, well, maybe it just needs fluid. So I go to put fluid in. It keeps hitting the hot side of the gauge. Well, of course, she needs to go pick up prescriptions, and that isn't understanding. My gauge is not coming back down. So I barely get her home.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, what am I going to do? And I'm like, well, I only have a handful of people I can call. My dad just had cancer surgery. I can't call him.
Right.
And I really can't call my uncle either because, he's got things going on as well. So I'm kind of on my own here. And I've got probably 1 or 2 other people I can call. One of them is our co-host, Travis.
Oh.
So I got a hold of Travis and I said, brother, I'm in a, pardon my language, I'm in a shit situation here. I'm like, I don't know what I can do. Well, he has a friend who is a auto mechanic, because keep in mind, this is Saturday afternoon now on a holiday weekend. All the shops are closed. So it's either I use my insurance plan, get a tow it to a shop where it's going to sit there till Tuesday and not get worked on. And that's probably going to run me about $500 to $700 I don't have.
Right.
Right. Or we can try to figure out a way to do it less expensively, which we might be able to do through this friend of his. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked to Travis about it. Is there anything we can do? Is there any workaround here? Well, he checks into it. He's really good about it. Travis is amazing. If you ever get Travis as your friend, he's an amazing friend. So, so we start looking into some solutions. Well, finally, this mechanic friend can't do it. And Travis just says, F it, we're running out of daylight. You, me, YouTube. And keep in mind, I'm sitting in a parking lot at a Quick Trip.
Yeah.
Okay. You, me, I'm going to bring my tools. We've got YouTube. We'll take this thermostat out together. Now, most people will go, no. Right. But he's very savvy. Keep in mind, he's taken out a bunch of stuff on his cars.
Mm-hmm.
And his dad works for an auto parts dealer. All right. Yeah, let's give it a shot. And I'm somewhat savvy, but but the only thing is we're also two old broken down men. So, two old broken down men equal one guy that can work, right?
Between the two of you. Yes.
Yeah, between the two of us. So I'm like, all right, yeah, let's give it a shot. What's the worst that can happen, right? We got it done famously. It took us a little while.
Wow.
We got it done famously. And I got to thank the staff at the Apple Valley Quick Trip who were very patient with us and let us do it. They're in their parking lot. We were in the back of the parking lot getting it done. But what's funny is at one point we were actually tailgating in the back of the Quick Trip parking lot because we got a little bit of coolant on the serpentine belt. So we had to rinse off the serpentine belt and let it dry. And in that time, the big rig came in to fill the gas tanks. And we were even talking with the guy who filled the gas tanks, who was wondering what we were up to. So it ended up being, about a 4.5 hour deal where we were sitting in the back parking lot at Quick Trip. So it was an exciting night. It was a lot of fun.
Way to come through, Travis.
Right. So I want to thank Travis publicly on air because without him, I'm doomed. I'm done. I'm cooked. Right. Not only that, but being a good friend and a good brother to come by and do all that. And I know he got in trouble at home, for dropping everything and coming and helping because he's got a family life. But to do that and save my bacon. And then on top of it, it wasn't like he was coming out and playing or anything like that. He was helping me out. We were working.
He was being a good Samaritan and a good friend. Yeah,
exactly. So, so it was, but it was also a lot of fun just to hang out with him and joke around as we were, fixing the car. So it was a lot of fun Saturday night. I had a good time. So.
Yeah, those are our bonding moments. The ones we're not planning on, and they're kind of like putting out a dumpster fire together. Good memories.
Yeah. When you're deep in the shit and got no other place to go, but it was a lot of fun. It was a good time.
Oh, so. I'm glad you guys got it worked out though. All this stuff is so stressful, and it's like the money you don't want to spend, like even if you had the extra money, like that's not what you want to use it for.
Right. Yeah. But at the same time, I mean, it's a necessity, right? These cars,
you gotta have it.
So you gotta do it. Right. But
But
at the same time, if you're going to, you could spend it on a night out that or you could spend it, having some fun in the Quick Trip parking lot, that's one or the other.
A different kind of night out.
That's right. A different kind of night out. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. So thank you, Travis. It's greatly appreciated. I had a great night, brother. Appreciate it. So, but that put me way behind on the entire week. So it was I was rushing on Sunday to get things done, which, by the way, Travis also helped me with Dumb Crime, Stupid Criminals today as well. He ended up giving me 3 stories for today's cast. So
Wow, Travis, you're just swooping in like a superhero, brother.
I know, right? He just came in and he was like, here's some stories. I was like, oh, thank you. Cause I was behind. Yeah. So with that, we'll jump into today's cast. All right.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. We'll start it off with something kind of ironic. I don't know if when you were younger, you watched boxing at all, Jess, but I happen to be a huge boxing fan when I was younger. And one of my all-time favorites was Sugar Ray Leonard.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And it turns out he's got a little bit of a tumultuous family life himself.
He does?
Yes. His son was arrested for trying to break into the family home.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Daniel Ray Leonard, son of legendary boxer Sugar Ray Leonard, was arrested at his father's home on Wednesday of this past week after allegedly trying to enter the residence. TMZ Sports was the first to report on the news. The arrest occurred early Wednesday morning, and while charges were not immediately available, online records show that 25-year-old Daniel was booked on a misdemeanor charge. On May 20th of 2026, I know a lot of parents are out there going, how can you arrest your son for breaking into what's supposed to be the family home, right?
Well, I mean, if they're not invited, they don't live there anymore.
I mean, it's kind of a foreign concept to me that,
Yeah,
you know,
me
it's a
too. But
family
yeah,
member, if they need to get in, I mean, especially if they're in some sort of trouble or whatever, why would you arrest them? On May 20th, around 5:29 a.m., keep in mind, it's 5:30 in the morning. Officers assigned to the West Los Angeles area responded to the 1500 block of Amalfi Drive for a radio call of a restraining order violation. So Sugar Ray Leonard has a restraining order out on his son.
oh no.
Yeah. Officers arrived and took the suspect into custody for being in violation of that restraining order. Daniel allegedly tried to turn exterior door handles to the home, prompting Sugar Ray's security team to call 911. That, according to TMZ, police reportedly found him outside the residence and near Sugar Ray's pool house. Sugar Ray, who is 70 years old, had filed a restraining order against his son on Wednesday, according to court records viewed by Us Magazine. Circumstances around the restraining order are currently unclear, including whether that was related to the arrest. Hearing is scheduled for June 15th on the entire case. Daniel is one of 2 children that Sugar Ray, whose real name is Ray Charles Leonard, shares with wife Bernadette Robbie. They're also parents to daughter Camille, who's 29. Sugar Ray and ex-wife Juanita Wilkinson were married from 1980 to 1990, and are parents to sons Ray Jr., who's 53, and Jarrell, who is 42. Sugar Ray has not commented publicly on his son's arrest, but it has remained active on social media throughout the day. He posted a photo of himself via Instagram on Thursday, May 21st, as part of a paid partnership with Skechers. The picture appears to have been taken in front of his house, where he posed in a yellow polo, khaki shorts, and naturally Skechers shoes on full display. So he didn't let that get in the way of business, evidently. So
Yeah.
I guess the world turns and the world goes on, right?
Keeps on rotating.
Yeah. Yep. He did write earlier on Daniel's birthday. So happy to be with my son Daniel this weekend with a photo of Daniel, Camille, and Robbie. So I don't know what's going on there. But
So they were getting along for a minute, and
Yeah.
then they weren't.
then they weren't. Of course, you know, people may remember that Sugar Ray won a gold medal at the 1976 Summer Olympics. He competed in the light welterweight weight class, and he also won some titles as well in that class. So
Yeah, I gotta think there's a lot of layers to the story that we're not hearing. So
yeah, there's a lot there. There's a lot there.
complicated family relationships.
Right. Here's some. We'll call this one "Dumb Cops, Stupid Gang Signs."
Oh,
Yeah. This one is in New York. Some New York Police Department cops are under fire for flashing symbols at a McDonald's, gang signs that, believe it or not, might be kind of timely because they were in a McDonald's, because they have to do with a gang that's got Mac in the title. I think that's why they did this. It might have been a joke. It's a bad joke.
Not a very funny one.
No, right. Some NYPD cops are under fire for flashing symbols of NYC's most violent gang. There are signs of trouble. 2 uniformed cops from the Bronx were caught on camera flashing apparent hand signs of the violent Mac Baller Brims, a subset of the Bloods, considered NYC's most lethal gang. Now, see, they're in a McDonald's, and that's where this was shot. The viral updated photo is now the subject of an NYPD probe and appears to have been taken at a McDonald's and shows 2 masked cops alongside an unidentified young man. Now, here's the thing, okay? Bloods wear red. This young man is in blue. So I got to think that this photo here, Jess, is a joke. But they're all very stone-faced, right?
Yeah.
But the
It's
cops
definitely not a funny one.
No, I mean, it doesn't look funny, but I mean, they're all mean mugging, right?
Right.
But I mean, it's street humor. It kind of is. One officer is pointing his fingers down in the image and crossing his middle finger over his ring finger, the calling card of the Mac Baller Brims. The other cop also flashes an apparent gang sign, bending it back his index finger and holding his other 3 fingers out. Both cops were modified on Friday, stripped of their guns and shields while the disciplinary process plays out, according to an NYPD spokesperson. A lawyer and former NYPD officer Eric Sanders said the signs were authentic. These are Mac Baller Brim signs, he said. Those cops need to be modified. He was referring to disciplining the cops by putting them on desk duty or modified assignments. Retired NYPD Assistant Commissioner of Youth Strategies Kevin O'Connor agreed the cops were trying to make gang signs, but not doing it very well. So, yeah, that's why I'm thinking maybe this was a bit of a joke, you know?
I'm sure it was intended as a joke. I'm like 100% had to have been intended as a joke, but you got to kind of be careful. Gang stuff is scary.
It is. And
Scarier than zombies, Tim.
It can be, yeah. But the fact that, you're in a McDonald's, it's a Mac Baller Brims, it's, da 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 da, here's my gang sign. It's, yeah. It looks like they're trying to make blood signs, he said. The one on the right is trying to make the Mac Baller sign, is what Kevin O'Connor says. You have to look at the context of the picture, he said. The kid in blue, so were they messing around with him? The Bloods embrace the color red, and their arch rivals, the Crips, use blue. That's why I say the photo doesn't make much sense. No one there is wearing gang colors, but they're flashing blood signs. So it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's not a very coordinated photo. Put it that way.
Right.
Right. It'd be like me going, "Go Vikes," and I'm wearing Green Bay Packers colors.
Right. Yeah.
The disturbing photo was posted on May 4th on Instagram by a user called Michael Clancy 1312. The account didn't respond to requests for comment, and it wasn't clear who originally posted the image. Officers kitted out in balaclavas and beanies, throwing gang signs and posing like street enforcers with a civilian in a fast food spot. An ex-user called Brooklyn Patriot wrote, reposting the picture, "This isn't community policing. It's cosplay for the very criminals that they're supposed to be deterring," said someone else. NYC at NYC Mayor and at Governor Kathy Hochul. "Who exactly are you hiring for the NYPD?" The post continues. See, again, I think this might be a joke photo that went a little too far and probably went into the wrong hands.
Yeah, it wasn't received well. We can say that with confidence.
Yeah. It says here, there is one quote here from someone. One Bronx cop said of the photo, "It's a complete disgrace. Taking a picture like this, even as a joke, sets a bad image and diminishes the department's long efforts of combating gangs. But a law enforcement source says the cops were just joking around. They saw a kid they know and they were messing around in the photo. They had no idea it would go viral, said the source. So it's, yeah. So there you go.
If they were trying to make it go viral, no one would have seen it. But because they didn't want anyone to see it, it went viral. That's how that
Exactly.
works.
That's right. Yeah, they tried to keep it under wraps and
Yeah.
joke, and it never ends
You're
up.
just being silly. No one's going to see this. And then everyone sees it.
Well, someone got a hold of it and went, "Oh my God, this is funny to me.
Right.
So this would be scandalous to a bunch of other people because it's kind of an insult. I mean, it really is an insult, especially if it gets back to the Bloods. So
Yeah.
yeah. So someone said, let's release it and see if it'll go viral. So they did. Our next story, a substitute teacher who was found passed out drunk in middle school in the pickup line had a 0.376 blood alcohol content and a bottle of Skull vodka in her car.
Well, what a way to start your day.
Or end it. I mean, maybe one of
Oh,
those.
what pickup line? Yeah, not drop off.
Yeah, pickup. So,
Wow,
when the
what was
day
she
is
doing
done,
all day during class?
drinking,
Just
evidently.
knocking it back.
Yeah, 0.376. I mean, you got to get a
Whoa.
somewhere. Yeah.
A
Of
steady
course,
stream of rum and cokes.
well, vodka. I mean, it might have been,
Oh, yeah. You can't smell that, right? That's the secret one.
that's the secret one. That's the one you keep, you can keep the breath down on. I believe I got this one. Did I get this one from Tony or from Jana? I'm trying to remember. This one was sent in from a listener. And so thank you, folks, by the way. If you have a story for us, tim@darknessradio.com. A Florida woman, and by the way, we're going to Florida on this one. Surprise, surprise. Fort Myers, as a matter of fact. A Florida woman who was working as a substitute teacher at a middle school was allegedly found passed out drunk on school grounds. 49-year-old Jennifer Jennison was arrested on May 14th after police said she was found unresponsive in her car, which was in the pickup line at Fort Myers Middle School in Fort Myers, Florida. According to a booking report reviewed by Law and Crime, a school resource officer was told by a bystander at 2:34 p.m. on May 14th that there was a woman fast asleep behind the wheel of a car that was parked but running while in the pickup line. So at least she put the car in park. I mean, there's that. I mean, if you're going to take a quick snooze, by all means.
On the bright side.
Yeah, put her in park. The school resource officer approached the silver Subaru Impreza. That's a bit of a tongue twister. And soon recognized it as a car that was allegedly involved in an incident earlier that day. Well, that's what she was doing earlier in the day, Jess. She was stirring up shit. That's what she was doing. According to the booking report, the school resource officer was told that Jennison was having a possible medical episode around 10 a.m. that same morning. When the officer found her, he determined that she was intoxicated and took her car keys. Jennison apparently had a spare car key, which she used to start her car that afternoon before she allegedly passed out on the driver's side. Well, that's handy.
I mean, spare car keys are great, except when you use them poorly.
For evil.
To drive when you're drunk.
Right. The officer parked his car in front of Jennison's to prevent the vehicle from taking off and possibly striking children who were leaving school, then used the previously confiscated key to unlock the car and wake Jennison up. Oh, so he had the original. Look at that.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. After a few attempts, the officer was apparently able to rouse Jennison, who allegedly showed several signs of intoxication, included me too. I had a few as well before the show, who allegedly showed several signs of intoxication, including slurred speech, inability to balance herself, and stumbling. According to the booking report, Jennison also spontaneously uttered to officers that she was probably still impaired.
Huh? I know, at least she can admit her wrongdoings, right?
Yeah, exactly. At least she came forward and told the truth. Police said Jennison agreed to participate in a field sobriety test, after which police determined that she was impaired. A breath test was administered, and Jennison allegedly had a blood alcohol content of 0.376. That is exactly over 4 times the legal limit in Florida.
Dang. Whoa.
Yeah. In fact, she was working on 5 times. She's between 4 and 5 times the legal limit.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. An open bottle of Skull vodka, which, by the way, we can go Skull. There we go. It's a Vikings tribute. Was also allegedly found in Jennison's car. Jennison was read her rights and then arrested. Law and Crime reached out to officials at the Fort Myers Middle School to confirm Jennison's current employment status. My guess is fired, but did not receive a response. Probably because they're still reviewing. Yeah. Jennison was charged with DUI and booked into the Lee County Jail. She posted $2,500 bond and was released on May 16th. She's scheduled to appear in court on June 1st. So there you go. Speaking of being a little lit on this holiday weekend, if I were going to use a certain type of drug, I want to be on the type of drug this man in Indiana was on.
Ooh, what was he doing?
Well, Jess, I'll tell you, because you're on some good drugs when you're dancing in the middle of a roadway while holding a rare turtle.
Oh, he's having a little dance with a friend.
By the way, Dancing with Turtles, my Native American name. Yeah.
Mine is a running bear.
Running bear? Oh, well,
yeah.
See, I bet a lot of people don't know that Dancing with Turtles is my native name. So, yeah. Mainly because I'm not known for my speed. That's why. Yeah.
You're just over there dancing with turtles and I'm just streaking.
I didn't get the bear reference, but no. Yeah, in fact, my old baseball coach used to call me Dancing with Turtles. Is
that what you did out in the outfield?
Actually, that was when me running to first. Hit. Be like, come on, Dancing with Turtles. He sounded a lot like Arnold Schwarzenegger because he was from Austria.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah, Arlo Brunsberg. Yeah. Yeah, I used to make fun of him in the dugout. Yeah, he never knew it was me. I would hide my voice. I go, come on, Dale Hiley, get the hit. Yeah. So he used to hated me. That's the only that's why I'm doing this now instead of playing baseball.
Oh, yeah, otherwise you'd have a whole different career path if you just would have been nice to that coach.
Yeah, and focused, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, we go to Harrison County, Indiana, where an Indiana man is behind bars after police say he was found dancing in the roadway while holding a rare box turtle and carrying methamphetamine.
Oh.
I guess meth is the drug of choice when you want to dance with turtles.
I mean, it'll definitely loosen you up. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah, it'll get the party started, I guess.
It'll make a lot of things that don't make sense seem like they make sense.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Indiana DNR officials announced Tuesday that a man had been arrested in Harrison County after conservation officers found him dancing along a local street. The man was reportedly holding an eastern box turtle, which the DNR said is illegal. Put that box turtle down, sir. It never asked to dance with you. Eastern box turtles are long-lived, slow to mature, and have few offspring per year, and may not be collected from the wild, a Facebook post read. The man was reportedly found to be carrying both methamphetamine and drug paraphernalia. DNR said the man was arrested on drug charges and booked into the jail. Meanwhile, the turtle was reportedly unharmed and wasn't offered meth, I guess. So the guy was bogarting the meth.
I mean, that's the plus side. He didn't give the turtle meth.
Well, or it's a negative. I mean, really, you should share.
Sharing is caring. That's true.
Sharing is caring. Conservation officers released the animal near the area where it was removed and returned to its natural habitat. I'm sure the turtle was a little shook. I'm sure the turtle's never been dancing before or in the presence of meth, one or the other. While eastern box turtles are not considered to be a federally endangered species, they are considered rare throughout the Midwest. If you want more information on box turtles from the DNR and the laws surrounding them, I can provide you a link. Ask me privately. I'm sure it's not a huge thing. Sure, a lot of you out there aren't concerned about the eastern box turtle in the Midwest, but I can provide you that information if you so wish.
Yeah, if you're interested. I'm guessing this guy didn't realize it was a box turtle. He probably just saw a turtle and got really excited.
It's probably like that little kid who was like, I like turtles. And then he went up and started dancing with it. Yeah. And then from there it was on.
Yeah.
Like Donkey Kong. Yep.
Breaking laws he didn't even know existed.
That's right.
And others that he fully did know existed, but
Yeah.
didn't care.
Yeah, but just didn't care. He just didn't give a darn, did he? We're going to go from one childhood fantasy of dancing with turtles to another one, which is catching them all. We're going to the world of Pokemon, Jess, at least for the next couple of stories.
Bring out the nerds in us.
That's right. We're going to start with one West Palm Beach man who's accused of using a chainsaw to break into a Lake Park store to steal at least $12,000 worth of Pokemon cards.
Dang, that's aggressive.
Well, like I said, you got to catch them all. And evidently that involves a chainsaw with this guy.
Huh.
By the way, this guy does look like he would pick up the chainsaw out of the garage and go steal Pokemon cards.
Yeah, he looks a little unhinged.
Yeah. Looks like there's no lights on there on the porch. That's for sure. The owner of Collection Realm in Lake Park contacted Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office on May 21st to report an overnight burglary. A West Palm Beach man allegedly broke into a Lake Park store to steal Pokemon cards using a chainsaw. According to an arrest report from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Clayton Warren, who's old enough to know better, he's 33 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Was arrested and charged with burglary and grand theft after the owner of Collection Realm in Lake Park contacted the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office on May 21st to report an overnight burglary. Surveillance video showed a man using a battery-powered chainsaw. A battery-powered chainsaw?
I didn't even know there was such a thing.
I mean, that's what? 2 steps above a vibrator, right? I mean, it's not very powerful, but okay, we'll take it.
I'm not going to mistake a chainsaw for a vibrator.
Well,
keep that away from all the sensitive areas.
Yeah, it's a slightly sharper, sure. Not much, but slightly. To cut a triangle into the hurricane-proof front window. He chose that, the battery-powered one. He couldn't step up to the gas-powered one.
He was scared. It was too powerful.
I guess, right? In the process, blood was left behind. He broke the skin, evidently.
Oh, no.
Warren initially attempted to break the window with a rock. So he went back for the chainsaw, the battery-powered. He was going in stages, evidently.
The rock wasn't working.
No. So there, for the first time in his life, the rock didn't work.
He wasn't strong enough.
Nope. After watching surveillance video, the owner estimated that $12,000 worth of Pokemon cards were taken, both sleeved cards and bulk bonus cards. Surveillance also showed that a man matching Warren's appearance had been in the store on May 19th. Investigators used a license plate reader to locate Warren's vehicle, which was captured on surveillance cameras and found was registered to a West Palm Beach address. A search warrant was provided and Warren was arrested at the home. He's being charged with burglary of an unoccupied structure and grand theft greater than $10,000, but less than $20,000. So
It's just amazing how much Pokemon cards are worth. I'm just astounded by that amount.
well, the classic ones are.
Oh, yeah.
Newer ones, not so much, but the classic ones, yeah.
But they'll be classics someday, so.
My little brother, I say little brother, but he's, 30 now. His collection, I'm astounded at how much his collection is worth from when he was little, from like 25 years ago.
Yeah. My brother still has his too. They're probably in a similar age bracket.
Oh,
he still has all his Pokemon cards.
My brother, when he was 5, 6 years old, was rabid about collecting cards and getting rare cards. I mean, he would spend not only his allowance, but I think my dad and his mom's salary on Pokemon cards and rare ones.
Oh my goodness.
And he was spoiled, but yeah, he got some rare ones. And
yeah,
if he's not sitting on a small inheritance, I don't know who is. But yeah, it's insane. With that, there's another story out there that Travis sent along. A man has sued Nintendo after his Pokemon Professor application was denied.
What?
And yes, Jess, he comes from your home state. A 34-year-old Iowa resident is seeking $341,000 in damages because he's not a Pokemon professor.
I didn't know there were Pokemon professors.
Oh, yes, there are. Put some
Wow.
respect on Professor Oak's name, by God. Becoming a Pokemon expert isn't easy. A man from Iowa named Kyle Lee Owens found out the hard way after submitting an application to be an officially designated Pokemon professor. The Pokemon company evidently did not feel his credentials were up to snuff, and now the rejection has turned into a legal rigmarole. As trading card fans may be aware, the Pokemon professors don't just exist in the Pocket Monster universe. The Pokemon company trains people to oversee competitive matches, and the associated job title for this role is Pokemon professor. There are perks to becoming a teacher, like unique swag and special tournaments. To become a certified professor, you need to keep up with the game and its many expansions. Many of the core values associated with becoming a Pokemon professor are basic things like being honest, being responsible, and having integrity. Oh, so what? Kyle Lee Owens doesn't have integrity?
I guess not.
Huh. Owens passed the initial test to become a Pokemon professor with flying colors, according to the lawsuit spotted by Iowa Capital Dispatch, and began the onboarding process to become a Pokemon professor. As part of that, Owens was asked to submit a background check. It was here that the Pokemon company learned that Owens had a low-level Illinois felony that was more than 10 years old.
Well, you can't be a Pokemon professor with a felony.
I guess not. He also had a pending arrest warrant in another state for failing to appear in court on misdemeanor charges of disorderly conduct by engaging in fighting, possessing, repairing, or selling an offensive weapon and criminal mischief through damage to property, according to the court filing. Now, the Pokemon company revoked Owens' application for the program based on misdemeanors, according to the suit.
Huh.
Sorry, Kyle Lee Owens, you won't be catching them all, Professor.
You gotta have a clean record for this gig.
So what? He'd just be a teaching assistant at that point, wouldn't he? He wouldn't be a professor?
Yeah, it's not quite the clout, is it?
No. You won't be pulling down that Pokemon poon as a teaching assistant, will you? Is there such a thing?
Do we call the professors doctor? I mean, are they doctors of Pokemon?
I think you're just a professor.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you end up being anything other than, right? I mean, you can't really.
It's just weird. There's so many things in the world I don't understand, and that is on the list as one of them.
Yeah. By the way, Owens is seeking $341,000 in damages and to be instituted as a Pokemon professor, even though he's a cold criminal.
What does one do with Pokemon professorship? Like, is there a school they teach at, or that's just like,
Oh, you get to oversee the tournaments. You're the man. You're running those tournaments.
oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Huh.
Which is really cool if you want to hang with teenagers.
I mean, which is kind of creepy.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, you might hang with some older people, but I mean, nobody over what, like 30?
Yeah. I mean, it's probably the age is going up every year, though, because I mean, people are hardcore. They got into it like your brother and my brother as kids,
Yeah,
and they just never let it go.
I guess.
And it wasn't a thing of my generation, so I just don't understand it.
Mm-mm. The terms also state that, by the way, it says here, professors are held to an even higher standard than average players. Failure to meet those standards can result in removal from the program without a chance to reapply. Terms also state that the unauthorized buying or selling of items are against the rules. The lengthy rule book does, however, note that some disciplinary actions are given an appeals process. Owens argues that he was not given a chance to make his case. Dude, they say right there in the rules, you can't have any misdemeanors or felonies. You got to be pure of heart, I guess, to be a Pokemon professor. Who knows? They set the rules. Owens also believes the Pokemon company's decision was unfair, and failure to appear mentioned in the background check refers to an event that happened a decade ago, he says. He says he was not convicted and that the incident has no bearing on his ability to be a good Pokemon professor. He believes he can still run a good game.
I mean, and he probably could, but the rules are the rules.
That's right. Rules are the rules. We got to follow them. So that's that, and that's it, and that's that. This other one comes to us from Travis as well. How would you like to be a cop in Salinas, California? You go on your coffee break, and as you're walking out of the coffee shop, there's a theater next door. Keep in mind, you're between the coffee shop and the theater. And as
Okay.
you walk out, you hear a little mumbling coming from the wall between the coffee shop and the theater.
Mm, okay.
Kind of a help me, help me.
Oh no, is this like a kidnapping situation?
No, someone's stuck in the wall.
Oh, oops.
Turns out it's a burglary suspect who is stuck in the wall. As a matter of fact,
Oh no.
here's a picture of the fire department trying to get him out.
Oh my goodness. That's a bad day.
Yeah, yeah. That's another one of our dumb criminals. A group of Salinas police officers were enjoying a break from fighting crime at a local coffee roaster when they heard faint cries coming from the walls. The sounds were coming from a burglary suspect who had fallen off an adjacent movie theater roof and landed in a wall space where he was trapped for 10 hours before being rescued, according to authorities. Salinas police officers were inside Brewgie, which is a Main Street coffee shop, on Sunday, getting their morning coffee when they heard calls for help nearby. Police officers looked around the area, including inside the nearby Maya's Cinema, and realized the yelling was coming from inside the wall between the coffee shop and the theater. Oh, no.
It'd be so confusing to hear and try to figure out what's going on.
Right? After they knocked on the wall, they heard knocking back. Officers cut into the Brugge's wall and uncovered only cinder block and cement, according to the police. To get the man, firefighters cut open another section of an adjoining wall along Main Street and rescued Isaac Valencia, who had been trapped there for 10 hours, according to officials. Valencia was booked into Monterey County Jail on suspicion of burglary after he was medically evaluated, according to police. Authorities did not say how far Valencia fell, but local news outlets reported a fall of about 22 feet. He fell.
That is a distance. That's going to leave a mark.
A little bit, yeah. A video of the rescue posted by the police department shows the Salinas Fire Department breaking down the wall. We're glad this ended in everyone safely going home, the police department said in an online post. Great work by our graveyard officers, even when tired, for trusting their instincts, staying persistent, and quite literally listening to the walls.
Reminds me of ghost hunting when you do shave and a haircut to try to get the ghost respond.
Yeah, the little dun, 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 and then the guy goes,
Dun,
"Help
dun.
me!"
And you're like, I found one.
Got one. It's over here. Oh my God. That's too funny. Too funny. That poor guy. Our next story comes to us from, I believe this was Jana who sent this in. A Florida woman was arrested after a golf course joyride fueled by 21 mini bottles of Fireball.
Ooh.
Now, one's
A
pretty
lot.
good. Yeah, one's pretty good. Five are great. 21 of them, I think, would get you schnockered.
You're going to be having a bad night after 21. 5, you're having fun.
Yeah, I think 5, you're pretty much.
I mean, 5, I would be under the table, but
Well, I don't know if 5 would be, for me, 5 would, I wouldn't be under the table. I think I'd be feeling it.
yeah, I think so. I'd be feeling one, but I don't drink, so that would be why.
I mean,
a
keep
lightweight.
in mind, they're only that big, right?
Yeah,
So it's what? It's a shot?
it's a shot. Yeah, it's exactly a shot.
Yeah, but 21 shots of Fireball.
No, I'd be in the hospital.
Yeah, I think most of us would be down and out in Beverly Hills at that point. If you drink too much Fireball in college, you throw up and you eventually move on from that nightmare cinnamon whiskey. I think that's pretty much a given.
Yeah, and you're not going to want to drink that again. That's on your list of never agains.
Yeah, yeah. Anytime you smell something cinnamon, you automatically want to throw up.
Mhm.
Right?
Yes.
That's what usually happens, at least in one writer's experience, and then you're off the stuff forever, like Jess just mentioned. Well, unless you're this Florida woman with a recent DUI arrest that's going viral for all the wrong reasons. Oh, this poor woman. Actually, you want to see a picture of her?
Yeah.
And take a look at the hood of this cop car.
Oh, well, there's her shots just lined up in a row.
There they are, right there. Yay!
She looks mad.
She
Give me
looks.
back my fireball.
Hey, you know what? When you've been drinking 21 bottles of Fireball, I don't think, it probably feels as good coming out or coming
Yeah.
up as it does
She
going down.
she looks like an angry drunk though, like a lot of people are like happy drunks. They get really huggy and just love everyone, and then you got the ones that just want to beat everyone up and they're mad at the world.
Yeah.
That's what
Well,
she looks like.
does whiskey give you heartburn?
I mean, everything gives me heartburn, Tim, so
I got to think that cinnamon whiskey has got to give you heartburn.
it definitely burns when it's going down. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna just sitting there and yeah, have a little burn-in.
but 21 shots it's just got to be that's an ulcer waiting to happen.
I think so.
Yeah. Erica Meyer of Palmetto was arrested last week after an alcohol-fueled joyride around Stream Song Golf Resort, in which she was eventually located sitting next to her crashed red 2018 Hyundai. According to witnesses in the Polk County Sheriff's Office, she had driven over parts of the nearby golf course and appeared incoherent when found by deputies. Maybe she just wanted to play around, Jess.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, she just thought, my Hyundai will work as a golf cart. I could use that. It's a little too heavy for the grass, but not too
You,
much.
you might leave some tread marks in the green, but
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Her alleged slurred speech and in and out balance were certainly due to the 21 open mini bottles of Fireball and 2 empty bottles of 99 brand liquor. I've never had that before. All found in the car. There was also an unopened 10-pack of 50 milliliter Fireball cinnamon whiskey bottles. There was an unopened 10-pack of those 50 milliliters. She was going for more.
she was going for 31, Tim.
Oh,
Oh,
that brave soul. Erica stated that she had not consumed any alcohol, despite the odor of an alcoholic beverage on her breath. Nah, that's the first. By the way, Grady Judd is back in this story, our favorite Polk County sheriff. Erica refused to participate in field sobriety tests, according to Grady Judd, and refused to provide any breath samples. She stated that she had been told by friends and social media that it's a bad idea to do field sobrieties.
when you're drunk, yes, it probably is.
Probably. Grady also went on to say she has surely heard over the years from her friends and social media that drinking and driving is a very bad idea, yet here we are. Grady. He's so sly.
He's funny.
According to Sheriff Judd, Meyer was eventually arrested and charged with DUI with property damage and refusing to submit to a DUI test. She was also cited for failure to drive in a single lane. It was a golf course and open container within a vehicle. This is certainly not the first mini bottle of Fireball consumed on a golf course, but it's most likely going to be the most expensive. So there you go.
There you go.
Did you ever watch Knight Rider?
Yeah, I did actually. We used to like that when I was a kid.
Yeah. Well, Travis forwarded this story to us about Kit, the car from Knight Rider.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It turns out that Kit is in the news. Kit's in a little bit of trouble, and Michael is not around to help.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember Michael from Knight Rider as well. Because isn't Michael dead? I mean,
yeah, I think so.
I mean, it's in poor taste. I know.
Yeah.
It's maybe I shouldn't have brought that up.
He can come back to help, in the afterlife in spirit.
True. Yeah. I didn't think about
Maybe.
that. Yeah, there's that. Yeah. But the
We
Knight
believe in
Rider,
ghosts around here.
that's true. We do believe in ghosts. The Knight Rider car, Kit, got a speeding ticket. The only problem is it's been parked for years.
Yeah. Who was driving it? What was it doing out?
Well, I'll tell you. An Illinois museum is trying to solve a real life mystery worthy of Knight Rider after receiving a speeding ticket for a replica of Kit, the iconic talking car from the hit 1980s TV series, despite the vehicle never leaving its exhibit floor. Officials at the Volo Museum said they were stunned when a $50 traffic ticket from New York City arrived in the mail accusing their black 1982 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am replica of speeding through Brooklyn on April 22nd. According to the citation, a traffic camera clocked the car traveling 36 miles per hour in a 25 miles per hour zone on Ocean Parkway at about 1:02 p.m. The summons included photos of a black Trans Am bearing the California vanity plate Knight, matching the novelty plate displayed on the museum's replica kit. Interesting.
Very.
There's just one problem. The museum says the car has not moved in years. So that would be impossible. The summons was mailed to the Volo Museum, where a 1982 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am replica of Kit had been on display for years as part of its Hollywood vehicle collection. The museum's marketing director, Jim, I believe this is Wadila, says it had been more than a decade since the car was last moved from its exhibit space. Museum officials said the traffic camera images from Brooklyn appear to have incorrectly matched the vehicle's novelty Knight plate to the Illinois display car, even though the plate is not a valid registration and the vehicle has not been driven on public roads in years. In a Facebook post, the museum said the automated system linked the California Knight plate to its exhibit car, which ultimately triggered the citation. Wajila said the museum received the notice on May 11th from the New York City Camera Violations Unit and initially thought it might be a joke, given its well-known collection of movie and TV vehicles. We are famous for our large movie and TV car collection. At first, we thought it was a joke, he said. When we then looked it up on our official New York City website, and it was indeed legit. He added that the situation became even more confusing when staff examined the plate. What's odd is that the California license plate that reads Knight isn't a registered California license plate. It's not a vanity plate at all. It's a novelty plate. We sell them in our gift shop.
Oh.
So someone just put a gift shop plate on the front of a 1982 Trans Am and went driving around New York City.
So it wasn't the real Kit. It was an imposter.
That's right. Wajila said the museum's biggest question is how a New York violation tied to a California novelty plate could be linked back to a museum in Illinois. Our biggest confusion is how a violation in New York with a fake California plate was legally registered to a museum in Illinois. We haven't found any answers yet, he said. The museum quickly leaned into the unexpected attention online, posting about the ticket in a viral Facebook update that mixed confusion with humor. Well, this is a new one, the post said. A traffic camera captured captured Knight Rider's Kit speeding down the streets of New York City. The museum added that the automated system somehow connected the novelty plate to its Illinois display vehicle. You can't make this up, the post continued. Our Kit hasn't moved from our museum in years. Does anyone have Hasselhoff's number? It's 1-800 He's in Heaven.
No.
He owes us $50, it says. We can't charge a ghost because he doesn't have a debit card.
No, he's not paying.
That's right.
And you can't make him.
That's right. The museum has since requested a hearing to challenge the citation. The New York City Department of Finance and the New York City Department of Transportation said both agencies are, quote unquote, looking into it. I don't know what there is to look into.
They got to get to the bottom of it, even though they already know the answer.
I guess. USA Today, by the way, reached out to the New York City Department of Finance and the Department of Transportation for additional comment and clarification. I have a feeling this is just going to go around and round until somebody drops it. There's going to be a judge somewhere who's going to dismiss this thing. I'm sure.
Seems like they should. We've got better things to spend our taxpayer money on.
Yeah. I don't think that this is going anywhere. All right. It's time now for Not Safe for Work. I might have let a few slip. So the kids have been exposed, but what kid hasn't been at this
It
point?
happens.
That's right. Your boss might have been exposed as well. But in the meantime, get them both out of the room. The boss is probably still on vacation from the long holiday weekend, probably still up at the cabin, so you probably don't have to worry. But the kids, in the meantime, if you are up at the cabin, send them out to the lake or do whatever. Maybe put them out on the dock and let them fish. And we'll get moving here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. This first one you may say is pretty tame for Not Safe for Work. But we put it there because it's a violent story.
Uh-oh.
You may say, well, Tim, how violent could it be if it takes place at a wedding? I'll tell you how violent it gets. First of all, you should never beat up your wedding officiant.
No.
Because they're doing you a service. But a beach wedding ceremony turned violent after the officiant was assaulted over the cost of the wedding. I don't know if you've ever wanted to beat up your officiant over what they were charging you, but maybe you felt like you should.
I mean, I'm sure it was expensive. I don't remember. The whole shebang was expensive, so it just kind of fell into the pot of money.
This guy right here, Jess, looks like he's probably going to beat you up no matter what the cost of the wedding is. But
Look at that smile. Come
I know
on.
he looks jolly, but he probably also looks like he's holding on to every last buck. We're of course going to Florida, a home of
What is it? His wife beater tank top that he's wearing that gave that away, Tim?
yeah. It's the dirty tank top, Jess, that gives it away. We're going to Florida, the home of you're probably going to get beat if I'm hiring you for a wedding. A Florida man assaulted a 69-year-old wedding officiant because he was upset over the cost of the beachside ceremony. 35-year-old William Wells is charged with battery of a person 65 years or older. That's the thing. You can't beat up senior citizens.
No, we get to a certain age and we're protected because we're old and fragile.
Yeah. It's like being a rare bird or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. According to a probable cause arrest affidavit reviewed by Law and Crime, the officiant and his employee were packing their belongings around 2:30 p.m. on Sunday after completing a wedding ceremony at Tornita Park in Port Orange when Wells approached them. Oh, this would be good. You know that wedding you just did? I'm going to beat your ass. How do you approach him on that deal?
But I feel like he would be doing it with a smile. Like that smile in his mugshot. It's just such a jovial, happy looking guy.
You do it with a smile on your face, right? I'm going to beat your ass. Wells asked them about the price and became angry, suggesting the wedding should have been $500. Cops wrote. The defendant called the victim rude and started calling him names. Per cops, the victim pulled out his cell phone and began calling 911, but Wells started swatting at the officiant. Swatting? Oh.
Swatting? Oh, that sounds like your hands going.
See, you're doing pawing. Swatting is this. It's a swat.
All right.
Yeah.
More like a slap, but not a 1-2 punch.
Right. Well, a slap is this. A swat is you got to wind a little bit. You got to come from at least the hip up. That's a swat. One of the swats hit the victim in the stomach. Ooh,
ouch.
Knocking the wind out of him, the affidavit said. Wells then allegedly threatened to call his boys who would arrive before cops and were going to get him. Ooh, now we're bringing in the posse. That's right. After yelling and cursing at the victim some more, Wells drove away in a blue Kia.
That's a getaway car choice.
So the happy guy drove away in a blue Kia?
I guess.
I'm not that afraid anymore. I'm sorry. Deputies with the Volusia County Sheriff's Office later spotted the vehicle and pulled it over. Post Miranda, Wells admitted to arguing with the officiant, but denied assaulting him. According to the complaint, Wells told deputies that he became upset because the victim was recording him and his car At one point, deputies had to tell Wells to calm down as he was getting excited in an aggravated state. Well, see, Jess would tell you he was just happy.
He looked so happy.
He's a nice guy. He's a happy guy. He's happy and he's swatting you all over the place.
It's a love tap. It's a slap of endearment.
That's a great title for the movie when they make it. Slaps of endearment, right? Cops noted that the defendant had been arrested and convicted multiple times for other assaults. He's not that happy, Jess. He also was arrested for fleeing and eluding, along with drug-related charges, easy for me to say. Wells was arrested and taken to the Volusia County Jail, where he has since posted a $5,000 bond. That's all you get for slapping around an old efficient.
No, it's not bad.
Yeah. Take a shot if you want. It's only $5,000.
Yeah, you're going to get yourself out. No big deal.
He has a court date, by the way, for June 16th. So that's our first story. All right. How do you know when you're a stupid kitty diddler?
No. Well, if you're diddling kids, you're stupid.
Exactly. That's the first sign, Jess. But a really stupid kitty diddler does what?
Post a video of it? I don't know.
Well, there's that. That's a good start. But we go to Texas, where this kitty diddler was arrested after dropping his thumb drive with child porn outside the sheriff's office.
Oh, that is stupid.
Yeah, very stupid, right? A registered sex offender in Parker County was arrested after investigators say he accidentally dropped a thumb drive containing thousands of files of child pornography in the parking lot of the sheriff's office following a routine compliance check.
Oh, no. What are you rocking around with that in your pocket anyway?
Right?
Jeez. Keep it somewhere safe.
Oh, no, officer. I'm completely being kitty porn free. I have not engaged in any of that. What's that thumb drive? No, not mine. I'm holding on to it for a friend. Yeah.
You got to keep that stuff in like one of those books that looks like a book, but really it's a secret, and it has a password code thing you got to put in. Like, you can't just walk around with it in your pocket.
Evidently he did.
I mean, I take that back. Just walk around with it in your pocket so you can get busted.
Yeah, that's right.
Disgusting freaks.
That's right. According to the Parker County Sheriff's Office, William Raymond Catrone was taken into custody after deputies linked him to a digital thumb drive found outside the agency's main building on March 18th. The device, turned in by a visitor, contained more than 2,000 images and 100 videos of child pornography, along with photos of Catrone. So, yeah, he was guilty.
Yeah, it was his. And I hate that so much of that exists. Oh, that just makes me sad.
Yeah. Sheriff Russ Authier said Catrone had just completed a required sex offender compliance appointment where registrants must periodically verify their information before leaving the building and driving away. Investigators later reviewed surveillance video that showed a thumb drive falling from Catrone's pocket as he retrieved his car keys in the parking lot. Jesus.
Oh, gosh.
Authorities said the footage, along with the contents of the drive, helped confirm the thumb drive belonged to Catrone and was in his possession during the compliance check. Investigators contacted Catrone and asked him to return to the sheriff's office, where he was taken into custody. And he bought it. Oh, what do you need? Oh, we just need a little more info. We're sorry. We forgot to fill something out on your form. We just need you to come in real quick. Oh, sure. Dumbass.
I like to think, how we have guardian angels who are protecting us. This was one of those situations where guardian angel was like just knocking that out of his pocket onto the ground.
Scooting it out of his pocket. And whoops.
Yeah.
Yep. It says here, he was taken into custody during a recorded interview. Officials said Catrone confessed to possessing child pornography. So he came clean. I mean, came clean, but you know what I mean. A subsequent search of his home conducted with the assistance of the Weatherford Police Department and the Texas Department of Public Safety, it turned up additional electronic devices with similar material.
Oh.
Yeah. So he was holding on. He was holding more than what he was saying, or what they had confiscated. After reviewing the evidence, the judge issued additional warrants on March 20th, charging Catrone with first-degree felony possession, involving a child under 10, and second-degree felony failure to comply with sex offender registration requirements. Catrone was booked into the Parker County Jail. Bond was set at $750,000. So
Good. That is an appropriate price.
yes, that's for sure. So good on them. Good on them. They got him behind bars. All right. This story was sent in to us. I believe Tony sent this one in. Our next story is a little creepy. I'm not going to lie. It comes to us from Tony. Westland, Michigan tenants caught their landlord having sex on a security camera.
Oh, yuck.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but that's the last thing I'd want to see my landlord doing.
No, yeah. No, thank you.
This one disturbing on so many levels. A Michigan couple say they checked their security camera expecting to see their landlord fixing stuff around the house. Oh, he was fixing something, all right.
Oh, no.
And instead got a full-blown live sex show. According to Fox 2 Detroit, a couple renting a home in Westland got security alerts while they were at the hospital visiting their sick grandmother. Oh, that would have pepped grandma up real quick, wouldn't it? Show her that video. Here, grandma, look at my phone.
Look what's happening at our house right now.
No, dear, no more. They figured their landlord was there doing maintenance work. Of course, so they figured, let's look at the landlord doing maintenance work. Instead, they say the landlord was caught on camera walking around totally naked and allegedly hooking up with a woman right inside the rental home. That's a little creepy.
Yeah, because you might be renting the place, but it's your furniture and bedding. I mean, I don't know where he was doing it at, but it was definitely on your stuff.
Evidently everywhere.
Ew.
The tenant told Fox 2 the guy looked way too comfortable which honestly raises even more questions nobody wants answers to. Imagine opening your security app and seeing your landlord treating your rental house like his own personal sex room. It's time to go home and burn the house down, right?
Yeah, the fluids and the yuck.
Yeah,
I mean,
burn it out with fire, right?
yeah, light it up.
Yeah. Not only that, but I think we get deeply discounted rent that month because now we have it on video, right?
Yeah. I know all back payment for all the rent I've paid you the whole time I've lived there.
Right. Right. We need a refund and no security deposit. We get that back. We get it all back. Yep. And you pay the cleaning bill.
Yeah.
After we leave. Yeah. The couple turned the video over to police, but honestly, nobody even seems to agree whether this was technically a crime. Oh, it's a crime.
I mean, it should be. We need to get some laws on the books if it's not a crime.
That's right. Some legal experts think it could fall under trespassing, while others say it's probably more of a civil issue tied to the lease. Either way, this may be one of the craziest landlord stories that's been seen in a while. Yeah, crazy. Definitely it's crazy. This is crazy. This South Florida man, I feel like we've reported on him before, but I think he did this yet again. This Florida man was accused of following a woman from a gym before a roadside lewd act. And it involves a gray Tesla. Do you remember this guy?
I mean, I remember stories similar to this if it's not the same guy.
If it isn't, I'll show you a picture of him in custody.
See.
This guy?
Yeah, he looks familiar. So he's at it again.
Yeah. A 50-year-old South Florida man is facing an indecent exposure charge after he allegedly tailed a woman through Miami traffic before pulling alongside her vehicle at a red light and exposing himself. The incident, which unfolded May 15th, has prompted police to warn that there may be other victims who have yet to come forward. The woman had just finished a workout at a gym in Miami's Brickell neighborhood when she noticed a gray Tesla Model Y repeatedly following her southbound on South Dixie Highway. Authorities said the vehicle description and license plate later became critical pieces of evidence that investigators used to identify the suspect. Another law enforcement agency is also investigating similar allegations involving a gray Tesla under similar circumstances, leading investigators to believe that there could be additional victims. The situation escalated near the intersection of South Dixie Highway and Southwest 70th Street when the driver allegedly pulled extremely close to the victim's vehicle. That's when the woman realized that the man beside her had exposed himself while making direct eye contact with her.
Oh,
Yeah, creepy. The victim managed to stay calm enough to memorize the vehicle's license plate number and provide detectives with a detailed physical description of the driver. Investigators later identified the suspect as Rogerio Miranda de Souza, who's all of 50 years old, from Pinecrest. And the victim reportedly identified him during a photo lineup. I wonder which. Yeah, I know. What did she identify first, right?
what did they take pictures of and make her look at?
Right. Sir, can you drop your pants first? We want to identify you that way first. He was arrested the following Wednesday, early a week after the incident took place. Essentially, detectives had the license plate number and vehicle description. South Miami police said the information provided by the victim helped investigators identify Miranda de Souza and connect him with the alleged incident. A photo lineup reportedly confirmed investigators' suspicions, and Miranda de Souza was arrested on Wednesday, May 21st. He was booked at the Turner Guilford Knight Correctional Center on charges of indecent exposure, held on only $1,000 bond before posting it on Thursday night. So he was in and out. I mean, not in his car, but he was
Figuratively speaking.
Yeah, he was in and out of custody. You know what I mean? At the bond hearing, his defense attorney reportedly argued that Miranda de Souza should be released without bond because he was not considered a flight risk. The judge wasn't persuaded, however. He said, yeah, not on these allegations. The judge reportedly responded after setting bond at only $1,000. His attorney later released a statement saying Miranda de Souza enjoys the presumption of innocence, as does every person charged with a crime in this country, adding that it would be premature to comment further before the facts were fully investigated. But as we said, police believe there are more victims out there of de Souza, or Miranda de Souza, and his mobile frisking, we'll call it that way. But he is bonded out now.
So, ladies, if you see him out driving around.
That's right. And finally, this is not ultimately where you want to store your wine.
I can think of a few places. And since we're not safe for work.
Yes. I just hit you with that little bit of a hint.
That's all I needed.
As cops say, a woman hit a wine bottle on her person.
On her person or in her person?
Yes. A prisoner was found with a stolen Pinot Grigio inside her vagina.
Wow. I'm sorry, but that is impressive. There is no way I could hide a bottle of Pinot Grigio in my girl parts.
She just calls it her wine cellar, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
By the way, a standard bottle of wine is 3 inches in diameter at its base and just shy of 12 inches tall.
Yeah, I mean, maybe when fully dilated and giving birth. It's huge.
It holds 750 milliliters of liquid and weighs more than 2.5 pounds.
Wow, she has some strong kegel muscles to be able to even hold it in there.
While being processed into jail, a Michigan woman was found to have concealed a stolen, unopened bottle of Cupcake Vineyards Pinot Grigio wine. Is it really that good?
Cupcake.
Yeah, cupcake.
They make it sound so cute, and then it's like up her crotch. No.
No. Inside the old vagine, according to investigators who charged the woman with attempting to smuggle contraband into a penal institution. Funny, it's a penal institution, and she's got the old wine. According to police reports, 48-year-old Monique Megciani was arrested earlier this month for trespassing at a CVS pharmacy in Grand Traverse. Boy, how would you like to do a shopping trip with her?
I'm fascinated, so I'd be game.
Let's go down this aisle and see how much we can get away with. Are you ready?
See what you can shove in there.
That's right. she's like Houdini. Shit just starts disappearing.
I mean, how do you walk? Seriously, Tim.
Gingerly? I mean, there's
I remember being like very pregnant with my children and like waddling, and they were like in my uterus. They weren't like in my vaginal canal.
just think this 20-ounce bottle I'm holding right now, nothing.
Yeah.
Challenge.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing. Mm-hmm.
For amateurs. This woman is a freaking professional.
Yeah. She'd swallow that up like nothing. She'd have room for more. Maybe a bag of Cheetos on top of it.
You have a whole six pack in there.
Yeah. Oh, even better. I mean, I need stuff for the week.
Yeah. Well, that's your girl.
Yeah, that's my girl right there. She was barred from that CVS. She appeared at the business on May 9th and allegedly stole wine, which she consumed in the store's bathroom. Just a classy broad. Wonder she's single. After being hospitalized due to her high intoxication, Meg Ciani was discharged from a local medical center and immediately returned to the CVS on May 10th. So she didn't necessarily stay away.
She's like, I'm back.
I'm back. Guess mommy needs her wine. Right? Police called to the store, arrested Meg Ciani at the checkout counter for trespassing on property again. At the time, the arresting officer was unaware that Meg Ciani stole another bottle of cupcake Pinot Grigio and hid the bottle on her person. Meg Ciani, cops reported, was handcuffed, checked for weapons, and put into a squad car. However, that process was not smooth. During this time, Meg Ciani advised that she was not able to get into the vehicle. After some convincing, Meg Ciani was able to slowly maneuver herself into the back seat.
Oh, she couldn't sit properly because
She's a little uncomfortable.
gonna have to lay down. I mean,
Yeah, well, she had a...
oh,
By the way, Jess, this is what a bottle of cupcake looks like. If you can imagine this going up in you.
no, I cannot.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my
then,
goodness.
then trying to sit in a squad car.
It's kind of pretty label.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. But like she's gonna pull it out later and just drink it? Like, oh, come on.
Yeah, she's got to, I mean, to get, we are in not safe for work territory. She's got to literally fist herself, go get that sucker,
Yeah.
pull it out. She's got to give birth, essentially.
Seriously, she's got to get in the stirrups. She's got to like go to the birthing center.
Just go home over the toilet, I guess. Right?
Call
Yeah,
your doula.
You gotta, yeah, right, call a doula. You got to be careful not to break the bottle either.
Oh yeah, you probably have to do a water birth, like so it comes out and like it
Water
just
birth. Oh my God.
oh Lord God.
And then, is this like Pinot for dinner? I mean, do you serve this with guests?
Is she having fish or chicken? I mean, I guess this
Probably
makes sense.
You'd have to, you couldn't
Oh
serve it.
God.
It'd have to be with fish.
Oh, Lord.
You know. Meg Ciani, cops reported, was handcuffed, checked for weapons, put into the squad car. However, process wasn't smooth, as I had said. They get her into the back seat. As the arrestee was subsequently being booked in the county jail, a female corrections officer conducted a final check of Meg Ciani's person.
I bet she was shocked. I mean, like,
Can
you imagine that's what I mean, I'm sure they see all kinds of things, little things they're trying to sneak in, little weapons or, but a freaking full bottle of wine? Wow.
According to a Traverse City Police Department report, during the examination, it was learned that Meg Chiani had concealed a bottle of Cupcake Vineyards Pinot Grigio inside her person. By the way, this is Meg Chiani right there.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Is that what you
She
imagine?
looks he looks like a singer from the 80s.
Does.
Oh gosh, what's her name? She sings that Sweet Dreams song. I can't remember her
Annie
name.
Lennox?
Kind of.
You think she looks like Annie Lennox?
A little bit. Doesn't she with the haircut? And
I think it's just the haircut.
it
Yeah.
might be. I don't know.
Yeah. I was thinking more Kim Carnes, but
I was not expecting her to. I don't know what I was expecting, honestly. Uh,
Annie Lennox.
But she doesn't look crazy.
No,
I
no.
wouldn't see that woman at the store and think there's a lady who would have a bottle of wine shoved up her vajayjay. Like I would be like, oh, cute hair.
She's housing the cupcake. Yeah.
Hear how this hear how this company feels about this, like being I mean, the name of the wine is like so prevalent and it's kind of hysterical. Is this free advertising?
Yeah.
No publicity is bad publicity.
Well, it is.
Uh, uh, uh,
Cupcake. It's
our wine,
it's cooch wine.
yeah, our wine's so good you're willing to shove it up your vagina. Uh,
Fellas, this wine will get you pussy every time. No,
oh,
uh, Meg Gianni complied with the deputy's order to uncork the wine, so to speak. The screw top container was removed and still intact, by the way, cops reported. The evidence was destroyed due to biohazard concerns.
well, yes.
Hey, it was good enough for her to drink.
Oh, yeah, that's not when you're going to be like, okay, who wants it?
Do you think the officer asked her, what's the bouquet like after you uncorked the sucker for you?
Ugh.
Charged with a prison contraband felony and misdemeanor trespass count, Meg Chiani is being held in lieu of $6,000 bond. Evidently, they take that stuff seriously there in Michigan.
Yeah, I guess. If you're in
Yeah.
Florida, you can get away with much worse for a lesser bond.
They don't like cooch wine, evidently. She's also facing a probation violation charge related to conviction last year for retail fraud. Meg Chiani's rap sheet involves prior felony convictions for unarmed robbery and credit card theft. According to her LinkedIn profile, yes, she has one of those. She's the human wine seller. Look her up on LinkedIn.
I'm going to go connect with her on LinkedIn.
There you go. Meg Chiani has worked as an associate counselor at a substance abuse treatment center.
What? Physician, heal thyself. Clearly, she has an issue.
Where she assists clients through the critical stages of detox from illicit drugs and alcohol abuse.
Oh my gosh, this story just got crazier, and I didn't even think that was possible.
What would evidently she knows how to smuggle shit into treatment centers.
So you think she's getting fired? I mean, it's probably not explicitly written in your contract when you start working there, but I feel like it's implied.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now that's how you end a story.
Oh,
I think we need a palate cleanser.
oh, thank God that's the last. I feel like I need to apologize for everyone for everything I just said the last 10 minutes. I'm so disgusted.
Hey, it's something.
That's right. Well, you're here. You wanted it, so I don't apologize.
That's right. You asked for it. You got it, Toyota. All right. Speaking of Toyotas, it's time for our palate cleanser. And in this,
All right.
I'm going to bring up one thing that's got us all a little hogtied, and that's gas prices. But there's always a silver lining in every cloud, right, Jess?
Yeah, usually.
All right. Yeah, usually, but we're talking gas prices, right? Which had hit all-time lows at one point. I think at one point, weren't we all nationwide? I think it was like something like 450 or 460. I
Mhm.
think it backed off a little bit at one point over the weekend. Um, but high gas prices are spurring Americans to improvise and do other things, from bus rides to, wait for it, Jess. One man has even gone to his toy car.
Oh, like
That's
a
right.
Barbie car?
Yes, ma'am. Look at this. Check this man out. I'm going to try and see if I can get the picture to expand. It won't, but here we go. There he is right there
Oh, and at the gas station.
at the gas station. There he is. We go to New York, where I believe his name is Molly Hightower's answer to high gas prices is a toy he fished out of someone's trash. The 30-year-old handyman from Ellenwood, Georgia, stuck a 2-gallon one-piston engine, or he put a 2-gallon one-piston engine from a power washer into a broken pink Power Wheels Barbie dream camper.
Wow. Who threw that away? That's crazy.
I know, right? Which is a battery operated toy car less than 4 feet tall. One pull of the lawnmower like ripcord, and he's off to the supermarket. Knees at his ears, dirt bike helmet on his head.
Oh, at least he's being safe.
That's right. His real car, which is a 1996 Mercedes-Benz convertible, cost about $90 to fill. That's too much, said Hightower, who also installed a rack on top of his groceries, or on top of this vehicle for groceries. So there's a rack on top of the Barbie car.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. He says, I drive this when I can, his little pink Barbie car, to save money. His solution may be unusual, but the soaring cost of gasoline is reshaping everyday decisions and inspiring creative workarounds in households across the country, long enamored with their cars, particularly less fuel-efficient SUVs and light trucks. Americans are seeking alternatives like public transit and staying close to home. As of May 18th, Americans paid an average of $4.52 a gallon for regular gasoline, up from around $3 before the Iran war started, according to AAA. In an April 28th Ipsos poll published by the Washington Post and ABC News, 44% of Americans said they had cut back on driving. Some are finding opportunities in the economic pain after spending nearly $40 more than usual to fill up her Buick Enclave. Renee Tochi, executive director of Camp Farley in Mashpee, Massachusetts, had an idea. Pitch sleepaway camp as a cost-saving measure for parents spending a fortune schlepping their kids around all summer. My colleague was like, that is hysterical, Tochi said. And I was like, seriously, I'm going to put it all over social media. She began referencing fuel costs online and marketing emails to boost enrollment. Here's a budgeting tip no one talks about. Send your kids to overnight camp, reads one of the posts.
It is brilliant, and you get a break.
That's right. Content creator Daphne Flores drives to Los Angeles from her home in Silverdale, Washington, several times a year to visit friends. During her most recent 2-month stay, she parked in Glendale and switched to public transit to get around. We're used to expensive gas prices, but never this expensive, said Flores, who's 28 years old. Filling her Toyota Highlander now costs at least $95, so she's keeping drives to within 5 miles and avoiding stations near freeways, where she's seen prices approach $9 a gallon. On the bus, yeah, it's ridiculous in Los Angeles right now. On the bus, she can edit videos and avoid parking costs. Online, Flores says more Americans her age are talking about similar choices. I'm seeing a lot of videos of people taking the bus. The trend is evident from coast to coast. In Maine, ridership on Bangor's public bus system has risen 21% since January, said Transit Administrator Lori Linscott, with most growth during peak commuting hours. I started watching people and trying to get some kind of demographic, said Linscott. It was every walk of life. On a recent Thursday, drivers waited more than an hour at a gas station in El Segundo, California, where tourism agency Visit Las Vegas was offering up to $100 in gas for the first 100 drivers in line to encourage travel to the city. There's an interesting giveaway. but few who showed up were thinking about vacationing. Robert Jackson of El Segundo said the fuel would only last a few days. I have to walk and take the train now, he said. It's tough. It really is. Segat Frank of Los Angeles said she used to go shopping across the sprawling city. I stay close now because I don't want to run out of gas, she said. In Chicago, City Point Community Church plans to give away $5,000 worth of $25 gas cards in the coming weeks. Pastor Demetrius Davis said they distributed more than 70 cards after Mother's Day services. Transportation is not a luxury for many families. He said it's survival. So far, the crunch has not caused a surge in electric vehicle purchases, but it has vindicated current EV drivers, particularly Tesla owners, who found themselves swept up in last year's political backlash against CEO Elon Musk. John Stringer, president of Tesla Owners of Silicon Valley, a group of Tesla enthusiasts, recently posted a TikTok video showing a gas station sign with sky-high prices. Oh man, wish that was a problem that I had to deal with, Stringer said cheekily before turning the camera towards his Cybertruck, which, by the way, I think those are ugly. I can't.
Oh, they're just so weird.
Yeah, I can't. To me, it looks like a dumpster. Well, meant as a joke, Stringer said his relief is real. I don't know the last time I looked at gas prices except that video. But still, I would rather I would rather drive the pink Barbie car than a Cybertruck.
Same. I'm with you.
Yeah, I think the little pink Barbie car that this guy right here made up with the lawnmower engine.
Yep.
I would rather drive that.
Look at him posing with it.
I know,
love
he's so
it.
proud. And he puts his little
Yes.
groceries on top.
Hey, that's just smart.
Yeah. And he probably pays what? $10 to get around? It's probably a 2-gallon engine. Yeah. So good for him. So see, there's a workaround for everything.
Yeah. People are getting creative and I love it.
That's right. There's a solution for everything. Much like we started out the program with a solution for everything. Travis and I fixed my thermostat in the parking lot of a gas station.
That's right.
And we ended with a gas station.
That's right. It all just came full circle, Tim. What a show.
It did. See? There you go. What's new in your world, Jess?
Oh, same old, just working on finishing some books and yeah, that's about it. No fun events right now, but hopefully we'll have some again soon.
Right on. Tomorrow, Supernatural News. Thursday, I'm going to leave it a surprise right now. I'm not going to tease you. How do you like
teasing?
that? No teasing. No.
No teasing feels like a tease in and of itself.
Right. So there you go. I'm just gonna hold off for right now. So that'll do it for today. Couple of reminders for you real quick before we leave you. Again, the Apple app, make sure you got it downloaded and you're ready and following All Things Darkness Radio on that. Please make sure you're supporting the show. Get some True Crime Tuesday swag or some Darkness Radio swag at darknessradioshow.com and visit the shop. And please rate and review us if you love us, either the videos on YouTube or if you're listening to the show on your favorite app, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever. Please give us a 5-star review if you enjoy what you're listening to. And if you enjoy what you're listening to or watching, refer us to a friend or a relative or whoever, and let them know you're enjoying the best in paranormal podcasting and true crime podcasting as well. That'll do it for today. For Jessica Freeburg, I'm Tim Dennis. Thank you so much for listening and watching the best in true crime podcasting. This is True Crime Tuesday.
For more audio and video archives of True Crime Tuesday, intriguing content, fun events, and cool swag, check out darknessradioshow.com. The executive producer of True Crime Tuesday is Troy Palmer. If you enjoyed today's program, please make sure to like and subscribe. This videocast is copyrighted for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this videocast, including audio, video, descriptions, or accounts of today's show, is prohibited without the consent of Darkness Radio Management. Thank you for watching, and join us tomorrow for Supernatural News with Mally Fox.